Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to begin this lesson by giving all glory, all honor, and all praises unto
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem
Ruach
Ruach Barakatam, giving double honors, double unto the apostles and others of great millstone, surely to rule right. To the men standing by the highways and byways, pushing this doctrine, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
And even unto the sincere Aqua, the sisters who sit listening these lessons in silence, subjection, and obedience unto their husbands, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
There are a couple of your brothers here.
Hananiah.
Awa Maya Sha'ala. We come out here to do is part one of a 4-part series we like to call the weapons of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And to start off, we'd like to discuss the first weapon that the scriptures have identified of the Lord, which you know and we know, and the world would call them what? The angels of the Lord. The definition for the word here, weapon. Definition number one, reading from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Something such as a club, knife, or gun, as examples, used to injure, defeat, or destroy. Definition number two, a means of contending against another. Verb, and as a noun definition, verb definition, weapon, weaponing, weapons. Let's see here, what are things that they have examples. Assault with a deadly weapon. The pitcher's slider is his most effective weapon, a new weapon in the fight against cancer. The mayor's campaign unleashed its secret weapon. So what? The Lord has weapons. And the first one we'd like to get into, the first category of weapon we'd like to discuss that the scriptures identify and break down are the angels. First precept we want to start with. If you could go ahead and read it, brother.
I will tell it on.
So, if you just give me a minute here. Alright, go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance,
Mm-hmm.
which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
And what we know, the angels are spirits, right? It is who make it is angels, spirits, and his ministers, a flame of fire. Go ahead.
Read Hebrews 1 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Which in their fury lay on sore strokes, in the time of destruction, they poured their force and appeased the wrath of him that made them.
Right. So what? These spirits are created for vengeance. And what? They lay on sore strokes in the time of destruction. So what these spirits are, what means and uses of destruction for the Lord. Go ahead.
Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and a sword punishing the wicked to destruction.
Pause. So what? All the means through which the Lord unleashes these spirits and the ways in which he used them detailed. Fire and hail, famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. So these things the Lord uses to bring vengeance upon the earth. And what these angels have control over these, over the elements, fire and hail, famine and death, they could bring that. What these things were created for vengeance, and what teeth of wild beasts. We understand that every living thing on the planet Earth has a spirit, and we know these angels, through the power that the Lord has given them, are able to control all of these living things, whether it be us or whether it be and us. As you, when you go later into the series, you'll understand when I say us, and then whether it be the wild beasts themselves, you could turn up the spirit and nah beasts and make them beasts trip off and go on a rampage and kill a lot of people. Scorpions, serpents, and what? The sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So what all the means through which they can bring out the Lord's wrath have been detailed. Go ahead.
Verse 31, they shall rejoice in his commandment, they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
Which brings me to the next point. What makes them the perfect weapon to bring about the wrath and terror of the Lord is because of what? The complete and perfect obedience to the Father. If you could give me the book of Psalms 103, and you can read from verses 20.
Look at Psalms 103 and verse 20. Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word.
And
Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, all his hosts, ye ministers of his that do his pleasure.
right, go ahead.
Bless the Lord Yahweh Shem Yeshai, all his works in all places of his dominion. Bless the Lord Yahweh Shem Yeshai, O my soul.
So what? Detailing what? The complete obedience these spirits have towards the Father. They hearken unto the voice of his word and they do his commandments. They do not deviate from the plan. If the Lord saying, and fuck this place up, they're gonna fuck this place up exactly the way the Lord wanted to get fucked up, and nothing extra, nothing less. They are the perfect weapons of the Lord due to the fact that they are perfectly obedient to the Lord. If we could give as well as wisdom and Solomon. No, second and just 8. Let's see, I think it's verses. Yep. The second and just 8, and we could read from verses 20. O Yahweh, thou that dwellest in everlastingness, which beholdest from above things in the heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the holy host of angels stand with trembling. What I believe that book of James, I think 2 and 19 speaks about what even the devils. Let me get
Yeah,
that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Look at James chapter 2 and verse 19. Thou believest that there is one power,
Right, there's one God.
thou doest well.
Mm-hmm.
The devils also believe
Mm-hmm.
and tremble.
So what we notice these devils speaking about what the evil spirits that the Lord has created, and what if they believe that there is one power and they tremble at Him. That sentiment or same statement echoed what? Whom the host of angels stand with trembling. Second Ezra 8:21. Whose service is conversant in wind and fire. So we understand how they serve the Lord. Same sentiment echoed again. So 39, 28, 29. 29 would have been the exact point. Fire and hail, famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So we know these spirits definitely have charge over these elements. Whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful, whose look drieth up the depths and indignation make the mountains to melt away, which the truth witnesseth. But what point is in verse 21? Whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the hosts of angels stand with trembling. You want to read it
Yeah,
in the translation there?
I will read it. Second verse 8 and 20 in the New English Bible. O Lord, Yahweh, who does inhabit eternity, to whom the sky and the highest heavens belong, whose throne is beyond imagining, and whose glory is past conceiving,
Right.
who art attended by the hosts of angels, trembling as they turn themselves into wind and fire at thy bidding,
Ooh, at thy bidding. Go ahead.
whose word is true and constant, whose commands are mighty and terrible.
And what we understand, Book of Job 25 verses 2, what? The places of his dominion are the heavens. So what? Anything exists within them heavens, he has dominion over them. That includes the angels. They perfectly fear and serve the Lord. One more precept on that. Okay, in the book of Hebrews chapter 1, I'm going to read from verses 1.
Verse 1.
Verse 1 to what? Read from verses 1. God, Yahweh, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets, had in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, by whom he also made the worlds, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high, being made so much better than the angels, as he had by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee? And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he said, And let all the angels of power worship him. So again, what? He is commanding the angels to worship his son. And of the angels, he said it to make it his angel spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. So what the point here? The angels were given the command to worship his son. How it is. When you see me, you see the Father, right? So what? You can't worship the Father unless you worshiping the Son. Who had not acknowledged the Father, same had not who had not acknowledged the Son, same had not the Father. So what? If these angels are made to worship his Son, they are definitely made to worship him. So what? That's what makes these angels the perfect weapon of the Lord. First point is what? The fact that they are completely subservient to the Father and to his Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now what?
His son Yahushai.
Huh?
His son Yahushai.
Yeah, the Father and the Son, the Father and the Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Not if they say to his son Yahweh Ba'ashem
Oh, no, Salak. It's his Father and his Son, I said, Salak. So, understanding that. Alright, so these beings that exist, these spirits, this fire, wind, hail, all these things, whatever you want to describe these beings as, they are perfectly subservient to the Lord, to his Son. But what use is that? How does that make them the perfect weapon? Well, these beings also have been likened to what? A mighty army. If you could give me the book of Isaiah 13.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13,
Verse 1, yet?
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. Lift up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake their hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right.
I've commanded my sanctified ones.
My sanctified ones, right?
I will be the elect. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my hindness.
Now we know these mighty ones had to be the angels, which is they shall rejoice on earth they shall be ready on it, but is the Psalms will say they shall rejoice in his commandment, right? So
Those
we know
are
this.
precept. Those are precept in Revelation, I believe it is.
I just want to double check it was the Psalms that said rejoice in his commandment.
Yeah, that is the Psalms.
Guy that do his joy his angels that excellent strength that do his commandment, hearkening unto the voice of his word. So what they rejoice in these commandments.
A quick precept here there. In Revelation, 2 Thessalonians 1, I read from 6. Seeing it's a righteous thing with power to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
So that is 2 Thessalonians 1.
Yeah, and 7.
Yeah, go ahead.
And to you who are troubled, rest with us, when the Lord Yahushai shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Yahweh, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushai Mashiach.
So what we understand is what these angels are being described as mighty, his mighty ones, his mighty angels. If we go to the book of Joel, chapter 3, and you want to go to verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. This is Joel 3 and verses 11 in the NLT. Come quickly, all you nations everywhere, gather together in the valley, and now, O Yahweh, call out your warriors. So what these angels that perfectly serve and perfectly obey the Lord are being called, described, and likened to what? warriors.
Even one of the angels self named Gabriel, when they get it in the Hebrew, is Gabaya Allah, which means warrior of God.
Ooh.
Or warrior of power, I should
Yeah,
say.
Papa Lord. Yeah, Papa Lord. I just want to get this word mighty.
Again, it's in blue letter.
Blue letter. But I want to get here. I want to get in Isaiah 13 and I want to get in that same Second Thessalonians. I want to see what it say. The word here, as you say, Gabaya Allah, this one here is Gabawa or Gabawara. Gabawa, which is what? Strong, mighty. It's from the Hebrew Strong's, so like it's from the Hebrew Strong's 1368. Is what? Strong, mighty, strong man, brave man, mighty man. And
we're going to the Strong's
is Gaba.
Yeah.
To prevail, have strength, be strong, be powerful, be mighty, be great. So what these angels are being described as mighty men, strong men, men who what? By implication, to prevail, act insolently, exceed, confirm, be great, be mighty. So what these angels are very strong. So what does that mean? That makes them the perfect weapon. Not only are they are they perfectly subservient to the Lord, but they are very strong.
Even when you go down to the Strong's definition from Gabayawa, if I say that correct. Gabawara.
Or Gabawa.
Yeah, Gabawa.
Yeah.
And you go down to the Strong's, Strong's definition. It says intensive from the same age to 1897, powerful by implication, a warrior.
Oh, tyrant, champion. So what these men are the champion men of the Lord. They win any war that they are involved in. They do not lose. They cannot lose.
They haven't lost.
And they shall not transgress his word. So come on. Oh, if they don't transgress his word, that means they've always done whatever it is he's bid them to do. They have never failed once.
And if you tell them to win, they will win.
Yes, sir.
What is that? I just read as 2 Thessalonians 2.
1.
2 Thessalonians 1.
Right, and I just want to see where's the word mighty here in the Greek.
Yeah, I know that we're going for now. Mighty in the Greek is dynamis.
Yeah, what? Yeah, you did. Press the speaker.
Let me see all that. Okay.
Strong's G 1411.
Dunamis. It means strength. Outline of biblical usage. 1 is strength, power, ability, power for performing miracles. Let me see anything else.
Yeah, read it, man. Inherent power by residing anything by virtue of its nature. Let me see. Moral power, excellence of soul.
Let's see.
Power consistent in or resting upon armies, forces, and hosts. Which what? We know the Lord is known as what? The Lord of hosts, which is what? Hosts in the Hebrew, I believe, is Tazabah, which is what? The Lord of heaven's armies. He's known as the Lord of hosts. So what? These angels are renowned around the world as what? Mighty warriors. They cannot be defeated. They are too strong. And we know they are too strong because what? We've seen examples of their power constantly shown throughout scriptures. If you could go now to the book of Job, I can't remember which one was the more gruesome account. In fact, we read two. Yeah, it was 2 in it. But you do read plenty in Job 1. In fact, we could read both of them.
Job 1, I go get 2.
Alright, okay. So the book of Job, chapter 1, and we'll read from verses 6, but I'll read this in the NLT. So if you could pull it in your blue letter. So they Job 1 from 6 in the NLT.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So they Job 1 and verse 6 from the NLT, right? One day the members of the heavenly court, or the heavenly hosts, came to present themselves before Yahweh, and the accuser Satan came with them. Where have you come from? The Lord asked Satan. Satan answered the Lord, I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on. That's going on, right? Verses 8. Then the Lord asked Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? He's the finest man in all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears power and stays away from evil. Satan replied to Yahweh, yes, but Job has good reason to fear the Lord. You have always put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property. You have made him prosper in everything he does. Look how rich he is. But reach out and take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. All right, you may test him, the Lord said to Satan. Do whatever you want with everything he possesses, but don't harm him physically. So Satan left the Lord's presence. One day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting at the oldest brother's house, a messenger arrived at Job's home with his news. Your oxen were plowing with the donkeys, feeding beside them. When the Sabians raided us, they stole all the animals and killed all the farmhands, and I am the only one who escaped to tell you. When he was still speaking, another messenger arrived with this news. The fire of God has fallen from heaven and burned up your sheep and all the shepherds. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, a third messenger arrived with this news. 3 bands of Chaldean raiders have stolen your camels and killed your servants. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger arrived with his news. Your sons and daughters were feasting in their oldest brother's home. Suddenly, a powerful wind swept in from the wilderness and hit the house on all sides. The house collapsed, and all your children are dead. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Job stood up and tore his robe in grief. Then he shaved his head and fell to the ground to worship. So what? You look at all the things that Satan caused by permission of the Lord, and all the things he are able to cause. He killed all the children, and everything that Job had as it pertains to livestock was either killed or stolen from him, and a lot of his servants died. Who caused all of that? Satan. So look at
Commandment from who? Yahweh.
so what showing you how powerful this angel character is to be able to do all these things by the commandment of the Lord. There's a good reason they are very, very useful weapons to the Lord. Why? Because they are able to do all of this death and destruction. They were continuing. He said, I came naked from my mother's womb, and I will be naked when I leave. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken it away. Praise the name of Yahweh. In all of this, Job did not sin by blaming power. So what? We see that Satan had the power to kill and take everything from Job. So now going to chapter 2. There was a day, reading from verses 1, and I'll read from the NLT again. One day the members of the heavenly court came again to present themselves before Yahweh, and the accuser Satan came with them. Where have you come from? The Lord asked Satan. Satan answered the Lord, I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on. Then Yahweh asked Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man in all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears power and stays away from evil, and he has maintained his integrity even though you urged me to harm him without cause. Satan replied to the Lord, skin for skin, a man will give up everything he has to save his life. But reach out and take away his health, and he will surely curse you to your face. All right, do with him as you please, Yahweh said to Satan, but spare his life. So what the Lord just gave Satan the right, authority, commandment, and power to harm Job physically in any which way you will. Just don't kill him.
And you can see in verse 7, Satan went out and did that. So Satan left the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yoshai's presence, and he struck Job with terrible boils from head to foot.
So what? These angels definitely have the power to afflict your health. So what them could kill you any which way. What makes them the perfect weapon? Their ability to bring famine, death, fire, and hell. What? Wait it. I can't remember the next one.
Cheetah, wild beasts, scorpions, punishing the wicked to destruction,
What
the
to
sword.
destruction? The sword. So what? Just the ability to bring destruction. They are very able and very capable of bringing destruction by any means possible.
Even see it when David did number the children of Israel. The Lord come and do what? He see that, he get pissed, and he sent an angel to judge the children of Israel. One angel to 70,000 men.
It is, yeah, and you could read about that account in the
First
book
Chronicles 21.
in chapter 21 because what? It would have read as well. I can't remember if it's in Chronicles would have the account of it being written like this, or if it was
Samuel.
if it was in Samuel, but it said what the Lord was seeking occasion against Israel to bring judgment upon them. And what when you read First Chronicles 21, the first verse says what? And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number the children of Israel. So showing you what? Satan did the provocation, and then an angel from the Lord came and brought judgment and wiped out 70,000 men of the nation of Israel. Showing you what? These angels are the perfect weapon because what? They cannot be stopped. They cannot be stopped. They are perfect killing machines. You could even see it all. And with this account we have read here with Satan, they could even get a similar account like this of what? Plotting someone's death in the heavens. The counsel about Ahab, when you read 1 Kings chapter 22 from verses 19 around there, what it was.
Now First Kings 18.
There's 19. You could pull it over. You could read that.
First Kings 18. There's First Kings 18.
Is 18?
No.
Sorry, 18 I say, sorry, I said 19? No, it's 1 Kings 22, verse 19.
I see.
Salakia. You get that, read it?
First Kings 22 and 19, and he said, hear out therefore the word of the Lord Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. The Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth his spirit and stood before the Lord Yahweh, and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord had put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord had spoken evil concerning thee.
Just want to read that last verse in the NLT. So you see, the Lord had put a lying spirit in the mouth of all your prophets, for Yahweh had pronounced your doom. So what? The Lord literally, every time someone dies, is an angel involved. Is that a council in the heavens, and the Lord say, I tell you what this man did, and angels would give their suggestions, and what? Whatever suggestion the Lord liked best, he said, go with that. And what men dying? Men dying. So what? These angels are the perfect killing machine, because what? Through these examples we see in scriptures, they do not fail.
Even book of Ezekiel 9 show you that.
Oh, because that is it as well. I'm glad you bring up that, because that the point I wanted we to close off with this, which is what? These ultimate killing machines, these weapons of the Lord, these mighty angels are going to be unleashed in these last days. If you could give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and I'll go from verses 5. I want to read this in the NIV. You can go ahead in the KJV.
Jeremiah 30, I read from 4.
Yeah.
To read here from 4. Jeremiah 30 and 4.
Yeah.
And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, speak concerning Israel and concerning Judah. So the whole house.
Right, and this definitely speaks to the people and not to the land, right?
For thus say the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Ooh, there's Jeremiah 30 from verses 4 in the NIV Bible. These are the words the Lord spake concerning Israel and Judah. This is what Yahweh says. Cries of fear are heard, terror, not peace. Ask and see, can a man bear children? Then why do I see every strong man with his hands on his stomach like a woman in labor? Every face turned deathly pale. How awful that day will be, no other will be like it. It will be a time of trouble for Jacob, but he will be saved out of it. And why is this important? Because Jeremiah 37 in the normal KJV, it is even a time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is near upon us. It is very near.
Let's be real, Jacob's trouble has started quite some time now.
Right.
But
what?
the heights of it.
The height of it, Revelation 3:10, Revelation 2:10 time, that hour of temptation, that trial by piercing.
Daniel 12 and 1.
Oh, those days are yet to be upon us. They are coming, but they are yet to be upon us in terms of living trade. We definitely see the signs. Even the Apostle Taha saying, Jacob's trouble has begun. Now, what does that have to do with the angels? Well, as I would have said earlier, these angels are going to be loosed in these last days to cause the famine, death, and destruction that Jacob's trouble is prophesied to bring about. And how do we know this? Well, Ezekiel chapter 9 tells the whole story.
Okay.
Yeah.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 9, I read from verse.
And in fact, before you even read that, I just want to read one more.
Spirit. I got 144. First word we went into was weapon.
Where's that?
That is spirit. When I read verse 1, you know.
Oh, yep. Starting thing off with how we're going to end it. Listen. Just want to read this here real quick. Ezekiel 7, I'm reading from verses 3, verses 2. I read from verses 1 in the NIV Bible. The end has come. The word of Yahweh came to me, Son of man. This is what the sovereign Yahweh says to the land of Israel. Now we know this he's speaking to the people.
Is that in Jeremiah?
No, they are Ezekiel 7 from verses 1 in the NIV. Continuing verses 2, the end has come upon the four corners of the land. The end is now upon you, and I will unleash my anger against you. I will judge you according to your conduct and repay you for all your detestable practices. Jump into verse 5. This is what the sovereign Yahweh says. Disaster, unheard of disaster. See, it comes. The end has come. The end has come. It has roused itself against you. See, it comes. Doom has come upon you who dwell in the land. The time has come. The day is near. There is panic, not joy in the mountains. I am about to pour my wrath on you and spend my anger against you. I will judge you according to your conduct and repay you for all your detestable practices. And we could go into this chapter even more, reading more, striking fear and terror upon whom? Upon all the men and women and children, and hopefully the elect who will hear this message. Because when you read this in this translation, it really strikes the fear in you. But what? Something else are gonna strike the fear in you. What Ezekiel 9 and from verses 1, as you're gonna read in the KJV, the heading here, the vision of slaughter, because the times we just read about in Ezekiel chapter 7, who's gonna unleash that terror? Well, Ezekiel 9 gives you the answer to God.
Ezekiel 9 and 1. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, Cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand.
Oh, and we know what these weapons are, what manifested by all the means we have read in Sirach, chapter 39, with verses 29 and 30, the fire, hail, famine, death, teeth of wild beasts, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So any means through which you can be killed, that is what this destroying weapon is representative of in verse 1. Go ahead.
That too. Hey, also gonna be some literal fucking weapons.
Oh, them
The angels coming. We will tell you about that in part 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
There is Ezekiel 9 and 2.
Verses 2, yeah.
And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth towards the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the power of Israel was gone up from the cherub whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man with the linen which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, to the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sang cry for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof.
Now, we know this man clothed in linen is speaking to whom?
So you can go to your house, right?
Right, and more. It would have said what? He called, and there were 6 men toward the way of the toward the gate of the north, I believe it would have said.
Like towards the
Came, yeah, behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate which lied towards the north. These 6 men are speaking to the angels.
5
So
of
what
them being the angels, and the one in the midst of them is Yahushua.
is Yahweh Shai? And what? Read this writer's inkhorn as when you read in the translation here, it says what? Carrying the writer's case. And when you look up a writer's inkhorn, it really speaking to what a writing kit. So the inkhorn is like, when you look back in the ancient days, it had the feather.
The body, the kind of ink bottle and the pen.
Right.
Or the feather, yeah, the feather actually.
Right, and then what? We know when you read Revelation, it speaks to what? The Lamb's Book of Life. So what? He's here to record all the happenings of what is going to take place here in this Ezekiel 9. And he was also given the charge of what? He was given the charge of giving the men who would be spared from this judgment the mark that what? That would be the exemption from the judgment. When I go into that word mark, it goes into the Hebrew thawah.
Which means the exemption from
Judgment, right? So what he's given the men, as you read verse 4.
And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sang cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. The others he said in mine hearing, so the other angels he talking to.
Right, and Salak, he's just saying what? Again, but given the mark of exemption, that sigh and that cry for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof what? That Revelation 7. That the 12,000 from the 12 tribes speaking to the 144,000 chosen ones. And then what?
The elect men, women, and children.
The large multitude. What? Behold, they that be sealed in the feast of the Lord. Shut up, they that be sealed in the feast of the Lord. 2 Ezra chapter 2. The number whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Right? Right?
Verse 5, and go to the others, he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite.
Oh, so he's giving the command of the other men, which lie toward the gate of the north, or what? Go through the city, and the city really speaks to who? The people. And what? Smite.
Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Say unto the old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is a mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Or is that 1 Peter 4 and 17? I believe it is. Judgment must first begin at the house of the Lord.
Right?
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
And reading the same NLT. In fact, you could read this in a different word, because I just want to see with the NIV saying. Go ahead.
From 5,
Yeah.
Ezekiel 9 and 5 in the NLT. Then I heard the Lord say to the other men, follow him through the city and kill everyone whose forehead is not marked.
So what? Those spare nobody. Anybody who have pronounced judgment on, kill them all.
And done. Show no mercy, have no pity, kill them all, old and young, girls and women.
Every single category of people they could find. If they don't have a mark on them, do away with them. I need them not.
And little children, but do not touch anyone with a mark. Begin right here at the temple. So they began by killing the 70 leaders.
Oh, so what the ancient men. So see all the men who know about this truth and fall away, who's not part of the elect, start with them first. Start with your house first and then find the 2/3. Then find the rebels and just destroy them all. The word known as what we have just read, time of disaster for Jacob, or the KJV, Jacob's trouble has begun. Ezekiel 7, the end has come. Go ahead.
I jumped on to verse 8. And it came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left.
Nah, Salak, not cut you off, but read everything.
Read everything?
Read
Okay.
everything. Read
Verse
everything.
7. And he said unto them, defile the house, and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth, and they went forth and slew in the city.
Well, no more revelings, no more partying, no more carnival. It's
No
just
more
time,
shit.
It's time to die. It's time to die. Good.
And it came to pass while they were slaying them, I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, Our Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai power, will thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great.
Which is the time we live in now. It is.
I get that second is just, what is that again, man? My second is just,
If you could say it.
hold on, the second is just,
Because what? That would just bring me back to what, boy? It had the precept. Iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full, and then what? When the Lord flooded the earth, we said I believe that Genesis 6. Is it 6, boy? The statement you have told Noah. Yeah, it's Genesis 6. Yeah, they Genesis 6 and 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So what same state that the Lord coming to meet this earth in is the same state it was in back in Genesis 6.
Like this spirit, this second is just 15, I read from 5. Behold, say the Lord Yahweh Shai, will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Ooh, all it means through which the angels bring destruction.
For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
But the iniquity of the Amorites. So now I guess we could say
Say
this
full.
time, the iniquity of the Israelites
Full.
have been filled. So when that happens, then this is gonna happen. Go ahead.
I'm finished. Ezekiel 9 and 9. Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, the Lord Yahweh had forsaken the earth, and the Lord see it not.
When the Son of Man come on earth, shall he find what faith on earth? Good.
And as for me also, my eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. And behold, a man clothed with linen, which had the ink on by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded.
So he took record of the happenings of what is going to happen during the time of Ezekiel 9, as a result of the time of Jeremiah 37, as a result of the time of the repeat of Genesis 6 and verses 5. So what is one command the Lord is going to give the angels? Search, kill, and destroy. So that what makes these angels this perfect weapon, this perfect force of the Lord to pour out certain and utter destruction upon the earth. This has been part 1 of our 4-part series detailing the weapons of the Lord. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and that you were edified. In closing, we like to say, Kal Halal Yamla Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachel Kodash, Barakatam, giving double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who surely do rule well. To the men standing by the highways and byways preaching this doctrine, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
And even unto the Aqua, the sincere sisters who sit listen these lessons in silence, subjection, and obedience unto their husbands, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
This was your brothers,
Hananiah.
Wa Mashara. Until part 2, we like to say
Shalom.
Shalom.